Welcome to Let's Word Up, a YouTube channel dedicated to teaching you about the English language absolutely free. We cover grammar, idioms, equip you with daily words and much more. Our goal is to bring you closer to mastering the English language. In this video, we recap the week's daily grammar podcasts along with exclusive bonus content, facts, or just more fun information found only on our YouTube channel. You can head over to our website www.letswordup.com to access our daily podcasts and downloadable transcripts. Take a look at the description box below for links and details. Click on the subscribe button and notification bell so you'll know when we publish a new video. Here's a recap of the grammar that we learned in week 3. Semicolon. A semicolon is a punctuation symbol that looks like a comma with a full stop above it. You can see an example of this in the title. A semicolon can be used to connect two independent clauses or sentences that are not connected by a conjunction or connective. As an example of this, we can look at the sentences "I do not like to eat chocolate" and "ice cream is my food of choice." These two sentences make sense individually, but they are also closely related, so a semicolon can be used to connect them. This rule also applies to sentences that are connected by transitional words such as however, meanwhile, or next. For example, the sentences "I do not like to eat cheese" followed by "however, I do not enjoy pizza" can be written with a semicolon connecting them instead of being separated by full stops. A semicolon can also be used between items in a list or series that contains punctuation within items on the list. For example, with multiple items under one group in a list, you would use commas to separate the individual items in the group, so you would use semicolons to separate the groups in your list. You can find an example of this and the previous rules in the description panel of this podcast. Make sure you take a look to see how you can use semicolons. Using or as a conjunction. The word or can be used to connect two or more subjects in order to indicate a choice between the subjects. For example, if someone were to ask you, "Would you like tea or coffee?" then you're being asked to choose one of the two options. When you connect multiple singular subjects using or, use a singular verb such as is or was. This also applies to either or and neither nor. Here are some examples. John or Mary is coming tonight. Either coffee or tea is fine. Neither John nor Mary was late. Subject and verb sentences. Every sentence must have a subject and a verb. Objects are optional. The subject of the sentence is usually a noun, usually comes first, and is the focus of the sentence. The verb in the sentence will relate to the subject. If you take the sentence, "Barry teaches," Barry is the subject and teaches is the verb. You can add an object in order to give more detail. For example, you could say Barry teaches English to show what subject he teaches. An imperative sentence is exempt from this rule, as the subject is understood in the situation. For example, if you say stop, you'll be directing the command to a particular subject that should be obvious, which makes it unnecessary to use the subject in this situation. Bonus content: Déjà Vu Etymology. Déjà vu is a French word that has been adopted into the English language. The influence of France on the English language was mentioned in our last video, so we won't go into detail on that, but just know that England once had a French king, and the French language naturally became commonplace in England. To hear more detail on that, please check out our video for Grammar Week 1. The original French meaning of the word is a feeling of having already experienced a situation that you are currently in, the literal translation being already seen. There are other variations, déjà entendu, which is already heard, and déjà lu, which is already read. As an example, if you enter a room that you are sure you have never entered before, but the room feels familiar to you, like you have been there before, you are experiencing déjà vu. This word has the same meaning in the English language, and the scientific term for this phenomenon is promnesia. Stick around for more bonus content at the end of this video. The imperative mood. The imperative mood is one of the four main verb moods. These indicate the state of a subject. The imperative mood indicates a state of commanding. An example of an imperative sentence would be sit down and eat your breakfast. The command here is very obvious. Sentences are usually indicative, which means that they are simply stating something, so the difference is easy to notice. Here's an example of an indicative sentence to make the difference clear. She sat down and ate her breakfast. You may have noticed that the imperative sentence doesn't have a subject in it. This is because imperative sentences don't always need subjects, due to the fact that the subject of the sentence is usually understood in this situation without being pointed out. The indicative mood. The indicative mood is one of the four main verb moods. These indicate the state of a subject. The indicative mood indicates a question or a statement. An example of an indicative sentence would be, Sharon swims every Saturday. This is a factual statement about Sharon. Another example would be, is Alex going to school tomorrow? This is a question asking about Alex. The vast majority of verbs and sentences are in the indicative mood. A statement is also known as a declarative sentence, and a question is also known as an interrogative sentence. The subjunctive mood. The subjunctive mood is one of the four main verb moods. These indicate the state of a subject. The subjunctive mood indicates hypothetical situations, wishes, demands, or suggestions. An example of a hypothetical would be, if the fridge is empty, we will go to the shop. The status of the fridge is unknown at the moment, so the situation is hypothetical. An example of a wish would be, I wish that I could see a dinosaur. The wish is to see a live dinosaur. An example of a demand would be, it is important that we do this now. The demand is that the task start straight away. An example of a suggestion would be, I propose that she studies every day. The suggestion is to study every day. The infinitive mood. The infinitive mood is one of the four main verb moods. These indicate the state of a subject. The infinitive mood indicates a state of being or action. An example of an infinitive sentence would be, I might go to the shop tomorrow, which indicates the action of going. Another example would be, I don't feel well, which indicates being unwell. Bonus content: Gerrymander Etymology. Gerrymander is a political term that refers to manipulating the boundaries of an electoral constituency to gain an advantage. It originated in 1812 in Massachusetts, America, and was named after Elbridge Gerry, who was the governor of Massachusetts at the time. A newspaper editor noticed that one of the districts resembled a salamander and combined that with Elbridge's name to dub the term gerrymander. Thanks for watching. We hoped that you found the grammar helpful and interesting. If you'd like to learn more about the English language, you can visit our website at www.letswordup.com for all of our podcast episodes and transcripts. Please do click on the subscribe button and notification bell below so you'll know when we publish a new video. It also helps us to keep going. Until next time!